If you got the time, I'd like to stay a while. Do you remember what I said last time we met? Would you like to move a little closer now?
That was If You Got the Time by Mary featuring Anya Gold. Our cut was licensed through Epidemic Sound, but you can find it on Spotify. It's the first track on Mary's 2017 EP Treasures and on a playlist for this episode. Welcome back to the No Bad Karma podcast, where I talk about how I blew up my life and what I learned from it, so you can give your choices a purpose bigger than yourself. We tell dirty stories sometimes, so we don't use names here. I'm your host, Reverend Daddy, Minister of Love, Life, and Relationship Advice. Why do I do it? Other than the fact that I screwed it up and try to live right now? Because it's about people, stupid. It's about how we treat each other. Karma's love, not romantic love, but the love we have for each other as people and how we treat each other. It's because the only things that matter are the things that matter. And the only things that matter are people and how we treat each other. Karma's not what you get from others. It's what you give to others. It's how we treat and love each other. So that brings us to the focus of today's episode, relationships and what the hell you do with them. So let's use the example of meeting someone new. Are you like, I want to see where this is going to go? Or are you like, I'm going to take this somewhere? So based on that example, you immediately think I'm talking only about romantic relationships. And I'm including them, yes, absolutely. But I'm talking about all relationships. Again, it's about people, stupid. It's about your friends, your colleagues, people at church, people you interact with every day. Let's build on that personal relationship example, though, and then we'll set it aside for a second. So even if it is someone new you're dating, it could be an established relationship, a new relationship, a marriage like I used to have. Whatever, what I'm about to say applies to all of those. If I had the attitude then that I have today, if my perspective were properly placed, there's a good chance I'd still be happily married. But if you're out there in the dating world, you find sometimes there are people just dating to understand what they're looking for and what they like. Other people might be determined to find a life partner. That's how I am. But this isn't about being relationship minded. Even if you're not relationship minded, you're still establishing a relationship with somebody, even if it's for one night, even if it's a one night stand. So, people want to be all woke about their boundaries and, what they will and will not take. But people really need to get woke about their intentions because boundaries are good. They're absolutely intentional. They're part of what I'm talking about. And they're usually there to protect us, which is something we all need and should do. If Maslow agrees, I do. But let's be real. I'm out there dating and, people are all focused on boundaries, not what they want to do with what they find. Boundaries are meant to positively protect you, but they shouldn't prevent healthy risk. Instead of getting proud and investing in the positive, we raise a shield to protect ourselves. So, I'm as damaged as it comes. I'd rather find a worthy buyer of a healed version of me than sell a damaged version. So it doesn't really matter what your intentions are. You can be dating to find and understand your vibe. You can be looking for an affair. But here's the thing. When is the last time you sat down and really consciously and intentionally thought about what you wanted out of your relationship, where you wanted it to go? What is the work you need to do to get there? If you have, it's probably because you're having an issue with it. That's always when people get awake about the problems in their relationships and wanting to do something about it. But you can do something about it when it's good. You can do something about it every day, all the time. If you're having a problem, you're not being proactive about it. But if you're one of those people that are out there just wanting a relationship, and that's included me, to some degree. I could just say, speak it into existence. That's what everybody likes to say now. Speak it into existence. There's plenty of people out there that understand that. But as positive as that idea is, as positive as I want to be, I'll challenge that thought, because speaking something into existence is self-fulfilling, and that can be good. But working to obtain something you want is also self-fulfilling, and it's more likely to be successful because you do the work. Thinking positive thoughts, going through the motions, you'll let your standards slip. You'll accept something that's second rate, that's second best for you. You'll find something that looks like what you want, because you become more aware of what you want when you're speaking it into existence, but it's not what you want. Instead of doing the work to make something you really want happen, you do the work to make something acceptable fit what you want. Why do we want to drag ourselves through that crap? Why do we want to drag ourselves through that sludge of life? Let me personalize it for a minute. So I've been dating for a relationship for over a year. I need attraction, which is more than just physical for me. I need a vibe, and I need alignment in life goals. Now, wait a minute. That's what I'm talking about. Alignment and life goals. I'm dating with intention. I want it to go somewhere. So the life goals need to be aligned. So from day one, I'm talking about where I want it to go. Now, you don't have to be dating for a relationship to want it to go somewhere. Maybe you're looking for a summer fling, a rebound, an affair, like I said earlier. Hope not. But it's where you want it to go. It doesn't mean we all have to be relationship bound. It means to be intentional about the relationship, whatever the context, and then be determined to get there if you want it to be healthy and to talk about it. I'm dead to my ex-wife. She hasn't talked to me in over 2 years now, just over 2 years. She's determined and intentional about her relationship with me. She's clearly decided that's a healthy choice for her. So that's one way of being intentional, but that intention and determination should be applied to all your relationships, no matter where they are in their life cycle, no matter where they are in your life. So, for example, do you have dinner with your family at the table once in a time, or your significant other? Or is it DoorDash every night in front of the television? When's the last time you met a friend that matters to you in your life for coffee or lunch? My dad likes to talk about how all the kids, even the grandparents, would come over on Sundays for dinner, or they'd all go to the grandparents' house. And I'm the first one that will come to the defense and remind him, Dad, families are dispersed now. Kids have more homework. Toss in the extracurriculars, family friends, the kids' friends, family obligations and time. Your schedule gets full, but you still have to do the work. You still have to have dinner once in a while. My parents and I road trip twice a year. We plan those in advance. Do you plan vacations? I love my family vacations, but I admit there were a couple that came about because my ex-wife insisted that we put something together. I wasn't the always one proactively thinking about them in advance the way I should have. And now let's talk work, because you spend a third of your life sleeping. You also spend a third of your life at work, your weekdays, that is. And, people at work, your work people, are getting as much of your love and time as your family does. It might be dispersed, but they get as much of that daytime hours as your family does. So, thinking about jobs for a minute, what happens when you go into an interview? What does somebody ask you? Where do you see yourself in 3 years? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? What are your career goals? They're asking where you want to take it. Now, do you think about that every day when you go into work? Some people do. Some people don't. Maybe you just want a job, and that's cool. Maybe you want to move up, switch companies, make more money. Are you thinking about those things every day? I'll tell you what, when we think about it, when it matters, when you're broke and looking for that next job, when your job is eliminated and you need a job, suddenly it matters. What about every other day? It should always matter. Do you not care what you want to do with your life? So it doesn't matter if it's a romantic relationship, a friendship, a work relationship. It's about first making that overall relationship with your people intentional. But then it's about making each and every interaction, every time you're dealing with them, intentional and moving it forward to wherever you want to take it. But that brings up a very, very important point, because it's not just what you want to do. And that's where you have to decide if you want to accept that which you cannot control, because you have to realize you cannot control the way other people feel. Relationships, whether it's work, church, school, romantic, they take two to tango. So it's about what you want. It's about where you want to take it. And hopefully, it's also about where they want to take it. And hopefully those are the same. And then, it's about communicating that with your friend, your boss, your partner. My passion sometimes gets misinterpreted as a lack of patience, that I always want to rush everything. It's not that I want to rush. It's not that at all. It's that I'm willing to. It's that I'm willing to if I find what I want. It's about knowing what I want and wanting to pursue that. That's what passion is. And then it's when you find what you want, you communicate it, you pursue it. That's what passion is. And I have that passion for all things in my life. It breeds intent, determination, and a true desire to do the work to get what I want, because I'm pursuing something that I feel I deserve. That's what passion is. So it's about knowing where you want to take something. But it's not about speed. It's about the destination. Speed is a function of how quickly you want to choose what you've decided you want, and how quickly you want to get it, what you're choosing. You can have anything you want. It's not about speaking it into existence. It's about choosing it and then driving yourself and it to the destination. It's about doing the work. You have to give what you want, and then you'll get what you give. And that's how you give your choices a purpose bigger than yourself. Let's have Mary play us out. See you soon.
That feeling